it's unfortunate that the 1% of individuals that seek to do damage and do harm get 99% of the attention. We have to begin to, as a community, come together and really expose those people who are giving everything from the parade to our communities a bad name.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to the podium Cheryl.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you today. This is an amazing event. One Caribbean, one people, one voice. Can we hear it for the Caribbean culture taking over Brooklyn today? We have moved the storm clouds away. Tropical storm Hermine is no more. And thank God for that. And we have an amazing lineup today. We want to acknowledge all of our amazing grand marshals at table one. Let's give them a hand. You'll be hearing from them really soon. Since people are already digging into the food, we want to bless the food. And please welcome Reverend Waterman of Interfaith Hospital.
Good morning, good morning. Do me a favor, before we eat, we need to greet. Do me a favor, hug your neighbor that's sitting to your left and right, and greet your neighbor that is sitting there. It doesn't make sense. Happy morning, happy morning. Not only before we pray, just if you could just pause a minute. If you could just pause a minute. If you can just pause a minute, understanding that even in the context of how we gather here today, there are other people who are not able to gather. And we want to take a moment even to understand even about the shootings that have taken place. And we want to make sure that we understand what we do affect the whole community. And so we want to really just help each other to know that what we have established here is just a carnival, a celebration, but yet there are people who are not celebrating today. And I want you to just take a moment and pause and pray for the families. Thank you. We also want to just thank you for this opportunity and want to recognize two other groups before I pray. I know I'm the pastor of Antioch Baptist Church in Bed-Stuy, yet I also want to recognize Interfaith and our CEO, Lorraine Brown, and also we want to, come on, you can clap for her. We want to recognize Medgar Evers College, where our president is President Rudolph Crew, and we got VP Castro and Dean Skeet here with Medgar. Come on, Medgar is an institution, our institution. Let us pray. Bless you, O Lord, our God of all creation. For it is from your goodness that we are gathered here today. We celebrate the West Indian American Day Carnival 49th anniversary. We thank you for the abundance of gift that you have showered upon us. We thank you for, especially for one another. We give thanks. We are mindful of those who have so much less than we do as we share this wonderful moment together. Bless the food, God, in this gathering. We ask that you allow your grace to be upon us today with our hearts full of delight and stirring with the readiness of this journey ahead of us. We ask that you would bless us in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please rise for the singing of our national anthem. Gerard Placide, former U.S. Army officer, three-time American McDonald Gospel soloist, is going to lead us in the national anthem.
Just a little more of the music, please. Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched was so gallantly streaming. Then the rockets were clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Say, was that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land and of the free? And the home of the brave.
Thank you so much for that lovely rendition. Now it's my honor to introduce a man who has been faithful to this organization, faithful to the upliftment of Caribbean culture for a half century. When Shirley Chisholm was running for president and letting the world know that Brooklyn is a force to be reckoned with, Mr. William Howard was right by her side, and he has been upholding her legacy and building up Brooklyn and blessing the beautiful Caribbean people ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for William Howard.
Cheryl said that wrong. She said, put your hands together and write a check for William Howard for the West Indian American Day Carnival Association. That's the message that I have, but very briefly, all of you that do not have seats, just do me a favor, find a chair. Just do me a favor, find a chair. We have a lovely program. We have lovely people that have taken the time to come and participate in our program, not in your program, but in our program. So if you do not come in and be a little bit respectful, we have to make some adjustments on our invitation. So I encourage you to please come in, find a seat wherever, and listen to the speakers that are in fact going to bring greetings or statements. Gene Alexander, please get those people seated, please, 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 so we can get through the program. Now to West Indian American Day Carnival. Yes, I did work for Shirley Chisholm some 46 years, and last year, with the help of Cheryl, President Obama invited me to the White House to get the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and it's not really easy to do that. And to get a Medal of Freedom for a person with Barbados heritage, her early childhood education was in Barbados, and coming back to the United States and do all the things that are required and necessary as a good citizen, as a congressperson, and a person that ran for president. I want to make mention that heritage is very important this day and time, and how I treat Shirley Chisholm is like when Pharaoh threw Moses out of Egypt. That was take her name off of all the tablets, take her names out of all the history books, and we've been able to replace those names in the history book, and I'm very proud. And I just want to tell you one little short story on how we did that. I asked to change the cover of the $20 bill, and when I was interviewed, I said to the administration that if you put Shirley Chisholm on a $20 bill, the expenditure in the United States would double. And he asked me why and how would they do that. I said most men would not want to have a woman in their pocket, and most people that hate, would not have a $20 bill, they'd have a $50 bill, and they would spend the whole 50. So I believe that because of Shirley Chisholm, this parade is better. She's one of the original organizers. But today, I just want to thank all of our sponsors, particularly the sponsors that have been with us for years and years and years. You know who you are, you're on the program. I also want to tell you a little bit about the West Indian American Day Carnival in its 49th year. This year on the Parkway, we have 48 mass bands. Over the weekend, we've had at least 30 to 40 steel bands playing around town, 11 which was in competition at the museum. And to have that kind of culture in Brooklyn, that is the positive culture that we want to understand. And the other part of it is that each year, based on a report done by a Republican governor, this parade, this carnival, bringing $157 million into the state of New York, with $8 million direct taxation to the city of New York. So if you think that we are not a part of this economy, if you think that we are not a part of the system, then you ought to look very closely. It's important that the culture of the West Indies be continued. We have this year, good morning, Mr. Speaker. This year, we have close to 1 million people who will be on the Parkway, and these people are not into the nonsense that is going on in the community. They're here to enjoy the culture, they're here to enjoy the city of New York, and that's what we are all about. So on behalf of the West Indian American Day Carnival, its officers and directors and members, we're very pleased to have you with us at this carnival today. So if there's any questions that you may have or do not have or to answer that would help you stop talking, I'll go outside and you come out and talk to me and let the program go on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. Next, we are going to have an acknowledgement of all of our speakers. Please welcome to the podium Dr. Donna Hunt Cox.
Mr. William Howard, President of the West Indian American Day Carnival Association, other members of the Board of Directors, Grand Marshals, I salute you, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to congratulate RIATCA on this 49th, and indeed on behalf of the government and people of Barbados. I laud the perseverance of RIATCA in showcasing and celebrating the culture of the West Indians here in this diaspora. We are proud to share with the world in the most vivid and cultural way as we know best, and that is with pomp and pageantry. I look forward to a glorious and incident-free day. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much. Enjoy your celebrations today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now we want to hear from a representative from the American Foundation for University of the West Indies. Please welcome to the podium Anne-Marie Grant. up, Brooklyn? This is a treat for me. I am a native Brooklyn gal. I've attended these parades for many years as a spectator. Oh my goodness, there goes the champ, Lennox Lewis. That just made my whole day. How are you, champ? That's fantastic. And that's just proof that we all come in different shapes, sizes, colors, different nationalities, but we are all one in the Caribbean. And I just really am proud as a Latino to be part of it. I never thought that I would be part of this parade. And I encourage the Latino community to feel more a part of this parade. This is our parade as well. And I just want to say, yes, thank you, because we got to get that going. Yes, the Caribbean is very, very large and very, very vast. And if we all come together as one, we have much more power. Just thank you for having me. And I can't wait for next year to celebrate the 50th year of this carnival. So thank you for having me, Brooklyn. This means a lot. Enjoy the day. I know you're online getting breakfast, but can we show some real love for Rosie? Showing love for the borough. Come on now. And I saw the champ Lennox Lewis. I'm gonna break script for a half a second. Champ, I know you can come show us some love on the podium for 2 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, Lennox Lewis.
Hello, everyone. Great to be here. It's just actually my first time being here, so I'm looking forward to the parade, and I hope it goes out really well. And I'm just happy to be here with you guys. I'd like to pick up my friends over there from Temple. Yes, and everyone else in the room. Big up. All right, thank you.
My friend. All right, just give me a second, fellas. Step back. All right, there you go. Y'all can have it. Chairman? Yes. Can we have the 10 quick shots? Everybody can get a shot.
Come on up, Tina Charles. You may have recently seen her incredible story on New York One. She's all that and a bag of chips. Tina Charles.
I just want to say thank you for having me. Like Mr. Rudd said, I've been in this Poison Parade years and years. When I was in high school, I'm native of Queens, New York. My father, Ralston Charles, he served the community of Bed-Stuy for the longest, for like about 43 years. Big ups to him. But again, just thank you for having me. It's a blessing to be here, and I hope you guys enjoy your day.
Yeah!
My family, my dad's from Trinidad and Tobago, my mom's from Kingston, Jamaica. So,
Who you play for? Great job. Rosie, look this way.
Right here, guys.
Charlie?
Yes, sir.
All right, Charlie.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you much. Thank you. Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning. As you know, I'm Matthew Eugene, and I'm the New York City Council member representing District 40, and I'm a proud Caribbean person. Let me take the opportunity to thank the wonderful organization, the community, and all of those who work hard to make this event possible. You know that the carnival, the Caribbean Carnival, is the most vibrant activities that we Caribbean people will have in New York City. And it takes a lot of work and dedication to make it happen. And all of us, we are so proud. And I want to congratulate all of the honorees, all of the wonderful, awesome Caribbean people who have made tremendous contribution to New York City and to the United States of America. To all of you, thank you for your wonderful work and congratulations. Let's go to the parkway to enjoy this wonderful, awesome moment. Let me take the opportunity also to acknowledge we have many Haitian dignitaries from Haiti and many elected officials from Haiti also. Thank you to them for coming. I want to take the opportunity to invite you to a very historic celebration. For the first time in New York City, we Haitian people, we are going to have a Haitian Day in New York City. A recognition of our contribution to the American history is going to be on October 9 at the Brooklyn Museum. You are all welcome to celebrate with us. And I want to thank my speaker, Minister McGregorito. She has been very helpful and instrumental to that. October 8, we're going to raise the flag at Bowling Green. And October 9, we are all going to come together as brothers and sisters, as Caribbean, to celebrate the contribution of Haitian people to the history of America. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
One more time for our beloved brother from the island of Haiti, making history. We're going to ask all of our guests and photographers on the red carpet to go to the risers. Please, all of our photographers on the red carpet, at this time, we need you to go to the risers.
Good morning, everyone. Are we ready for a great parade today in Brooklyn? Yeah! Congratulations to Bill Howard and all the officers and members of the association. Give them a round of applause for all the effort they put into organizing today for us, not just this breakfast, but the parade. Mr. Howard made a very important point about the economic impact of this event, but it goes beyond that. As you know, we've put out reports from the Comptroller's Office that shows that it's the strength of the immigrant communities in New York City that helps to drive our economy. And when you consider that about 20% of the immigrant community in New York City are from the Caribbean, that means New York City and New York State is strong because of the contributions of the Caribbean American community. We celebrate those contributions today: culture, history, tradition, and economic empowerment. Have a great parade today. Congratulations to the honorees and the Grand Marshals. I'll see you on the parade route. Have a great time.
Holiday all the time, not just during August, and give them the criticism they deserve, but keep your damn pens off the carnival. And we as a people have to stand up and let all the media folks who write know that we certainly respect what they do and want them to report. But please, for God's sake, report fairly, report honestly. Don't do to us what we don't deserve as an integral foundation part of this city. And we are demanding that respect. And today you're going to be down the parkway. Stop looking for the worst things to report. Look for the people out there who are having fun peacefully. Look for the people who are contributing to the economic engine of the city by being out there, spending money, celebrating, sharing our heritage, because we are one people, we belong here, we're part of the fabric of New York. So give us the credit. Thank you.
Violence, not at all. This parade offers so much to the city, a cultural heritage, contributions to our economy. We will not be defined by the actions of a few, because there are more of those who love and more of us who are peaceful than those who commit commit violence. And we all know that the violence is committed by some gang leaders, and we know that we've got a problem with gangs, and we hope that they address it. But this parade, this weekend, the contributions of the Caribbean community will not be defined by those who are sick and demented and bring us down. We are more than that, and we are together, and that's why we will march down Eastern Parkway with our heads up, our backs straight, and our flags to the sky.
And let us have a day to remember as we march in Brooklyn to celebrate 49, because next year is 5-0, so we got to get ready. Thank you all very much. Have a great, safe parade. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Stringer. Next up is the French consul in New York. The French consul is making a huge contribution to this year's event. Please welcome to the podium Anne Claire Legend.
There will be 60 French players, and they will march with you, and that's a great day. So have a safe and happy parade today, and God bless, France and America. Thanks.
For business and giving jobs back to the community. Please welcome.
Good morning, Brooklyn. Mr. Howard, members of the Watica Official Committee, I'm here this morning to thank you for your contribution towards our culture. When you told me that I was going to be Grand Marshal of this parade, I was ecstatic to say the least. But now that I'm here, I'm loving it. I'm loving it a lot. Now, we may think that Labor Day Carnival is one big block party. Believe you, my friends, it is. But it's a party of a different nature. It's a party where people from all over the world converge on Brooklyn. It's a party where we walk down and jump down Eastern Parkway to celebrate our culture and our achievement. So ladies and gentlemen, when you walk down the parkway today, hold your head high, kick your feet up, and have a good time. Bless you.
And we thank you so much.
Good morning. Sisters, brothers, friends, family of the Caribbean. It is a distinct pleasure for me to be here and to have been asked to be a Grand Marshal. And for that, I want to thank Mr. Bill Howard and his board. Most of you may not be aware that Watica is celebrating its 49th anniversary today. Next year, it will be 50 years. Barbados is celebrating its 50th year of independence this year, and its 50th year of membership of the United Nations. It must be more than a coincidence that this is the situation as it is. We at the UN cause to ring up from the hills and valleys of the Caribbean that the Caribbean is a zone of peace. And so I was more than upset this morning when I heard the news. But as previous speakers have said, let us prove that that is not part of Caribbean life or culture.
Since 1928, the West Indies cricket team has existed. And therefore, as an example, we here ought to recognize that we can be a nation of consequence and recognition across the world. I'm going to leave just a few things with you very quickly. I want to ask you to remember, if we don't hang together, we will surely hang separately. I also want to say that we must think that we are all that we have. We Caribbean people. And the Olympics have just finished. Jamaica did outstandingly well. Let us use their performance as an example to us. We Caribbean people must recognize that we are sprinters, but we are not long distance runners. It is something that we have to correct because we have the ability, the intellect to be able to be at the top of this world. On behalf of the people of Barbados, I want to thank you. It is a pleasure for me to form part of the organization of this grand parade day. Thank you.
One more time for all of our esteemed Grand Marshal. Now she is a chip off the young blood, Yvette Clark.
To Mr. Bill Howard and his team at Watica, to all of my colleagues here in attendance. I saw my public advocate, so I have to big her up, but I'm sure so many more of my colleagues are here and supporting. I see our DA from the Bronx is in the house. And to the beloved community, I think I see some soror sisters up in here. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is in the house. And to everyone in attendance, a pleasant good morning to each and every one. It's certainly my honor, my privilege to come once again as we celebrate 49 years of Carnival in Brooklyn, New York. As your representative in Washington, I have great pride in representing one of the largest Caribbean diasporas in the United States of America. There's still a little bit of debate between me and the Congresswoman from Miami, but I believe we win. I believe we win. And so, as we think about this year, I want to share with you an initiative that I'm working on in Washington, and I want to direct you to be a part of this movement. Before President Obama departs from his service to our nation as our president, there is a presidential pardon or exoneration that the Congressional Black Caucus is working on, and it requires all of our support. And that is the exoneration of the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. The evidence is clear that he was ahead of his time as a precursor to civil rights in the United States of America. But due to some folks we know who did not have the moral compass, one J. Edgar Hoover, he was unjustly jailed and deported from the United States of America. He was unjustly persecuted for the position that he took during a time where it was very difficult to take those positions in the United States of America. But he built a movement that was worldwide. It had
more participation and unity and entrepreneurship than our generation has ever experienced. So I hope you will join me. Go online and sign the petition so that we can urge the White House to make this gesture a real thing for our nation, because indeed, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey was a leader and one to be exalted and not to be languishing in persecution. Will you join me in that, everyone? Don't just clap, make sure you do it. And then, of course, as we move forward, I want to encourage you to enjoy the wonderful Carnival Festival that has been prepared by members of our community, whether it's the mass camps, the steel bands, the West Indian American Day Carnival Association. Great creativity flows from our community. A vibrant culture is something that we all represent. Let us go out and enjoy ourselves. And let's remember that there are 2 elections coming up. One right here in the state of New York in September. There's a primary election for our state elected officials. Make sure you go out and vote. And then the big one, the big Magilla, is coming up in November. Don't embarrass me. Do not embarrass me. When the roll is called, I want to see your number in there. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. You know, they look at the numbers, and we cannot regress. We showed historic voting power in the election and re-election of President Barack Obama. There's nothing called voter apathy in our community. Exercise your franchise. This is a democracy, and we shape it when we participate. God bless you. God keep you. Oh, by the way, I'm with her. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Brother of the Caribbean, his family is here this morning. Can we acknowledge them? Will the family please stand? Detective Randolph Holder, who gave his life defending his fellow citizens on the streets of New York. We remember him today, and we honor his bravery and his sacrifice. He made the ultimate sacrifice. Now, thank you for that, ladies and gentlemen. Now we want to invite to the podium a man who has been fighting for civil rights for most of his life. He has marched the streets of Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, fighting for the rights of people unable to defend themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Thank you so much. Let me say, as we gather for this, the 49th parade, I talked to our chairman, Bill Howard, and told him that I remember walking down this parkway with many of our greats, from the Honorable Shirley Chisholm, who he was the treasurer for when I was a kid in her campaign, all the way to Mayor David Dinkins, and now our great Mayor Bill de Blasio. We've come down this road, and we've come down it in good times and bad times. I remember bringing the family of Yusef Hawkins down that street as we bring Eric Garner's family down. But today we also must stand up and say to this city, the great history of this parade should not in any way be disregarded and disrespected with violence. The Caribbean Day, the West Indian Day Parade was known all over the world for the amount of people on Eastern Parkway
not by the amount of people that got into fights or gun battles the night before. So we must return that spirit in our community. Because those that use these festivities to fight each other are the enemies and sellouts of our community. We will not sit by silently while people mar the tradition and history of one of the great days of the year. I agree with Congresswoman Clark that I hope the President will restore the dignity to our great fallen Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Because we are people that walk like Garvey, that walk like Chisholm. We don't shoot each other in the middle of the streets and in the middle of the night. We have raised the bar of American culture. And that's why we walk down Eastern Parkway every year, dressed in our traditional costumes to celebrate who we are. And we can't celebrate and mourn at the same time. Let the mourning begin for last night, but then let the commitment to making sure that this be the last year that we have to mourn while we celebrate. Thank you, God bless.
Thank you, Reverend Sharkey. We're going to ask all of the stills to either go down or on the podium as we introduce the First Lady because you're blocking the television cameras. Stills down. And the First Lady of the City of New York, Charlene McRae.
Please give Cheryl another round. Isn't she amazing? Thank you. Hello. Hello, my beautiful Caribbean family. I am so happy to see you today. And a special shout out to my Bajan sisters and brothers. And my St. Lucian sisters and brothers. We have so much to be proud of this year. So much that we can hold our heads up high about. And I'm speaking, of course, about our Olympiads. The people who represented our Caribbean nations so well. Trinidad and Tobago, the Dominican Republic, Grenada, Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, Cuba, and Belize, and of course, Jamaica! With the one and only Usain Bolt. It's a joyful time, but the Reverend is right. We cannot celebrate and mourn at the same time. We must remember that we are a force to be reckoned with. We represent approximately 25% of this city's population. Do you hear me? 25%. We are a force to be reckoned with, which means that when we do well, the whole city does well. This is a time when we have to think about how we are going to come together as a community, even more than we already have, so that we can move forward and accomplish what we need to do for our children and our families and this city. We are fortunate to have a fantastic mayor to lead us, and I want to bring him to this stage, my dance partner, my partner in all things, Mayor Bill de Blasio.
Thank you, Charlene. You know, everyone, I can tell you something about our family. There's so much pride in our family, in the Caribbean roots, and we remember every single day. And Charlene remembers her grandparents and her great-grandparents and all they did to start a life in this country and to do better and better for the next generations. It is a history of struggle, but it's also a history of great achievement and triumph. Let us thank our First Lady for carrying on those great traditions. I want to start by saying this day is about the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people in this city of Caribbean descent who make the city better, who work hard every day, who bring culture and life to neighborhoods all over the city, who make us a better city by their presence. Hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of people, families, seniors, children, who uplift this city, who are proud of their Caribbean roots. We celebrate all of them today, every single one. And we have to remember, even in times when we're tried, we have to remember the good. We have to remember all the people who make us better by their presence. We have to remember to be proud, is that right? And it's a moment for pride. But it's also a moment to reflect on the things we have to do. I agree with Reverend Sharpton. We have more work to do. And we will not let a few define the many. We will not let a few who do the wrong thing define the hundreds of thousands who do the right thing. We're never going to let a few who turn to violence define the hundreds of thousands who are agents of peace and understanding every single day. We have to remember that. There's a lot to celebrate in this great community. We have to remember that. Now, I want to thank all the people who are here who helped to make this parade great. I want to thank Bill Howard and Angela Seeley and everyone who helped to organize this great parade. I want to offer special thanks to one of your honored guests, or several of your honored guests, the family of Randolph Holder. Let's give them a round of applause to thank them again. Even in their pain, they have been extraordinary examples to all of the people in New York City. And that's what all of us have to be going forward, examples of change. We don't accept the status quo of any violence. We will not accept it in any community. We will fight against it. And I want to remind you that this community gathered together in the months before this parade and the months before J'ouvert. This community gathered together like never before to prepare and to work with the NYPD. And we're not happy with what happened last night. We don't accept what happened last night. We have more work to do. But I also want to remember all the people who worked hard. I want to thank all the members of the NYPD who worked hard and will work hard again today to protect this community. We had thousands of officers out last night. There will be thousands out today. We have more light towers than ever, more participation of clergy and community leaders than ever before, and we will do even more. That is our responsibility. So, brothers and sisters, remember, every day it is our job to secure our communities, to make sure we get the guns off the street. And community members participate in that every single day. The NYPD does that every single day. More gun seizures than ever. But we still have more to do. We're taking down gangs and crews more than ever, but we still have more to do. We need change in Washington if we're really going to get the guns off the streets. We need laws that make it hard for bad people to get guns, not easy. We need real change. And we will not rest until we get that change. So today, we'll go down Eastern Parkway. We'll remember all there is to be proud of. We'll remember all there is to celebrate. And tomorrow we will get back to work uplifting this community and making it stronger. Thank you. God bless you all.
That's why you keep pushing, right? You're pushing. You're in the back. That been set. I got this one.
Hey, get a shot here. Get a shot here.
Wait, you gotta do it again. No, you gotta do it again.
She good.
Hold it. Ladies, doing it for a picture for the media. Interesting, come on. Let's make it happen. in with that truck.
Come on, everybody! Make some noise for your mayor! Representing!
You got to be in the front or behind. You can't walk the whole route like this. It's got to be with that truck. Andrew! Better walk.
Let's keep it moving. By the truck. Sir, we gotta get by the truck.
Man, you gotta move on. Can you move back?
crazy Trinity on the Parkway. Me and a million others.
don't want to leave. Right now I feel like a jump down, I want to roll on a bumper right now and get on bad. I feel like a shine down, I feel like a find down the sweet. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to leave. Right now I feel like
Pressure them down one by one. Show them you the champion. When you step out on the road, walking up your heavy load, the man I go crazy. Want to have your baby. From you know you're sexy and the road. Lady, show them how you back. Yo, shake the waist. Show them, just let them know. When your waist on the floor, how you got it like that. Bring it up and go back. Yeah, let them know. Don't you stop, broke it up, why it can't let them know why you want fire control. Don't you stop, broke it up, let them know how you want fire control. Show them how you back on your back, show them how you waistline back, show them you let them know, show them when you waist on the floor, show them how you got it like that, show them bring it up and go back, show them can't let them know how you wind your waist like so. If you love your life, love you too, baby. If you love your life, and you thank Father God every day for waking you up, I want you to make some noise and say, thank you, Father God. That's right. Every day I pray, and I always tell Father God, thank you for life. And one thing I also know, I don't let nobody tell me how to run my life.